This one's gonna be a tough one, I guess. Bangladesh Jamaat chief equates women working to prostitution. Oh my gosh! 1 step forward, 20 steps back.
Bangladesh is days away from a crucial election. It's going to polls on the 12th of February. And guess what? Guess what they're debating? Should there be women in public life? It's unbelievable. This is a country that has had...
Yeah, that is absolutely insane. That right there is absolutely insane. This just popped up on my feed, and I was like, you know what? I'll check it out later. I'll check it out later. Because Bangladesh has had women leaders, if I'm correct, right? They've had women leaders, and now they're at the point where women don't have a say. I mean, it's turning into, since Iran is going through their situation, I guess Bangladesh wants to be the next one to take up the throne of being the most extreme towards it. I mean, it's insane. Oh, yes, from a woman prime minister to women should be behind closed doors. Exactly. It's like someone needs to take the throne of Iran now that Iran is basically going through its turmoil. Someone's trying to take it up, and I guess it's going to be Bangladesh.
Women prime ministers for decades. Their politics was dominated by 2 women, Sheikh Hasina and Khalida Zia. So one imagined that Bangladesh had moved past this debate decades ago. Should there be women in public life? Well, where did this question come from? It has exploded courtesy a man called Shafiqur Rahman. He's the chief of the Jamaat Islami.
It's always the same person. It's always the same person. They look exactly the same. They look exactly the same every single time.
That's Bangladesh's Islamist party. And here's what he said. When women are encouraged to study, work, or step into public life, it pushes them towards moral decay. In fact, he called it, and I'm quoting, a form of prostitution.
Yeah, the thing is, someone who gets an intellect, someone who, the default skin. Yeah, the absolute default skin, just like the leader, the supreme leader of Iran. It looks exactly the same. Just put a turban on top of them, have them have the entire dress code, and it's the same person. Oh my gosh! But it's insane because knowledge, again, it's toxic, especially social media and things like that. People tend to be drawn towards the more disgusting parts of it. They fantasize and idolize people that you probably shouldn't. People that probably shouldn't be fantasized or idolized about. So there is a negative there, but it's the parent's job to actually educate the child on what is the correct thing to actually follow. What is the correct thing to do? Because there are things that are always wrong, but they're like, having them learn is equal to prostitution is just madness.
You heard that right. He called women studying and working a form of prostitution. He posted this on X. As expected, the backlash was instant. Screenshots spread like wildfire. Civil society groups erupted. Political rivals slammed the comments. The BNP said the Jamaat wants to turn Bangladesh into another Afghanistan. The BNP is the Bangladesh Nationalist Party. It is the biggest rival of the Jamaat in the upcoming election. After they raised the issue, the post was deleted within hours. And then came the damage control. Shafiqur Rahman issued a clarification. He said the message was false. It did not reflect the Jamaat's position. Well, they should have stopped it.
No, but they should have stopped that. Wait, what they say?
That. But then the Jamaat women's wing stepped in, and they made it far worse.
They just can't stop themselves. They just can't stop themselves. They just want to go back to default settings. Yes, exactly. There's something ingrained in like our culture, in like our DNA, and I don't want to be too cruel about it, but where we go back to like default settings. Like if someone threatens me and my family, it's going to be a default settings to where I'll grab anything, a blade off the ground, a stick, a club, and knock someone over the head with it because, well, it's my default setting to protect my family. And I believe that's a good trait to have. But some people, their default setting is making sure that the woman has no say because they're used to, well, they're used to grunting and go out, bang the buffalo over the head, bring it back, and expecting the woman to take care of the rest. It's just honest. I'm just honest. I mean, that is it. And that's the thing. They're going back to that default setting. The problem is they also have, some people have a book which they take way too seriously. And that goes for any religion, where they look at all these things that happen and it's just like, oh yeah, we should definitely do this now. Well, no, crucifixions was a barbaric thing. Stoning is a barbaric thing. Lashing is a barbaric thing. But some people still wish to continue these practices because they're on default settings. And their default setting is always going back to the book that raised them or whatever.
This intervention was led by Nurunisa Siddiqa. She is the secretary of Jamaat Islami's women's wing, and she addressed reporters. You would think she would try to calm the storm. Instead, she poured petrol. And
this trait only appears in low IQ people, by the way. Well, honestly, the people that normally push for this mindset are normally have a very high IQ. It works on the low IQ people. Because you can look at the supreme leader of Iran. He's a well-spoken dictator. He's a well-spoken dictator. I mean, compared to Trump, he sounds way better, way more educated. But the thing is, he's absolutely deranged. Just like Hitler. Hitler sounded like an amazingly well-educated person. But he was absolutely deranged. In order to control these people, these poisonous mindsets, you have to have a good voice. You have to have the ability to manipulate, to gather all these people in one, because you just sound like a great leader. It has nothing to do with what you actually believe or say, and then you just squash the naysayers. You have to remove them. You have to call them out before they start calling you out.
On the fire. Siddiqa said women cannot hold top leadership positions in the Jamaat. Why? Because according to her, men are the managers of women. I'll repeat that for you. Men are the managers of women. That's what this woman leader in...
You know, yeah. It's funny. I would never say that to my wife because my wife is primarily the manager of me. She makes sure everything gets done properly. She makes sure I'm healthy for the most part, that I'm actually eating, all that stuff. I could get nothing done without my wife. I could get nothing done without my wife. But I understand, like, it's an equal split. We know our roles. Some of us are better at some things than others. It's just how it works. That is just how it works.
The Jamaat said. And according to her,
but a woman said that.
It obligatory that the leadership remains male. That's her argument. She insisted that this was not discrimination, but faith. And then came the pivot. She argued that women's rights matter more than women just holding top posts. It's more important to have rights than positions. That's what she said. She said, Bangladesh has had 2 female prime ministers. They have been ruling for many years, and yet the women of the country face many problems, including violence. So her argument is this: having women at the top does not change anything. I know it's a lot to process, so let's pause for a second and look at her argument. Yes, Bangladesh has been led by women for most of its independent history. Khalida Zia and Sheikh Hasina, they ruled the country for decades. Their political rivalry was known as the Battle of the Begums. Despite their leadership, women's issues persist. They still plague Bangladesh. And yes, that is a failure of systems and institutions. To that extent, she has a point. But it's a deeply flawed argument. You cannot use the failure of some women leaders, especially those operating in patriarchal systems, to argue that women should not lead at all. That is not logic, that is deflection. If having women leaders does not solve women's problems, then removing women from leadership guarantees that those problems will never be solved. As for the Jamaat, their mask is slipping. They say they prioritize women's rights, but then their leaders make these regressive statements. What's worse, they've not fielded a single woman candidate in the upcoming election, not one.
Gosh, there's nothing but men around. But that's the thing. These men are just sheep. They are sheep. They like hearing that they are the ones. Yeah. Again, they all look the same. They all look the same. They're all like hearing that they are the ones in charge. Like, there's something about that. There is something about that, especially with a low-educated person. You tell them that they are the future and they are in charge and anyone you're with has to obey you. It encourages them and it gets them excited. So you want to keep the population low educated. I mean, the same thing with the U.S. The U.S. has a terrible education system, absolutely terrible. The problem with the problem is educated or skilled and radicalized is more dangerous. Like generals of Third Reich and Iran's, Ayatollah, yeah, they're incredibly educated, and they learn how to take advantage of the uneducated. That's what they do. Yeah, they lack critical thinking. Well, I don't think it's really that. I think some of it is they've been stepped on all their lives, and they like the idea of being able to step on somebody else. It encourages them, it emboldens them, and makes them feel better. That's just how it is. The women's literacy rate is higher in Bangladesh than in India and Pakistan. Literacy? Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's just again, it all has to do with like people wanting to feel superior. You see it everywhere. You see it everywhere where people will always make like hit pieces on people that they think is inferior to them because they just want to feel better than that group of people. I mean, like it happens all the time. White people make how many hit pieces on random groups of people? How many hate videos are on on YouTube about India? How many hate pieces? It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
They bar women from top leadership, and this is by design. They frame women's public participation as morally risky. They repeatedly define women through male authority. That is the opposite of empowerment. And this is something that the people of Bangladesh should seriously think about. Is this what they want their country to become? Bangladesh is an independent country. Bangladeshis alone should decide who they vote for. No outsider gets to dictate that. We're very clear about that. But we say voters should ask themselves this. If a party sees women in public life as morally suspect, if it believes that leadership is religiously off limits to half the population, if it equates modernity with degradation, then what kind of future is this party offering you? And this is not just about a controversial post. This is an ideology stepping out of the shadows. An ideology that questions women's rights.
It's the mask off period. It's the mask off. You accidentally posted your real thoughts thinking that the majority of the people would finally have your back. The sad thing is, a lot of people probably do. And when they finally win the election, we're going to end up with another supreme leader moron in charge.
Work, their public life,
well,
their chance.
Genius in charge, but leading a cult nation.
Leadership. Bangladesh has fought this battle before, and many thought it was settled. Unfortunately, the question is back to haunt the country now.
The world doesn't fit in boxes, so why should your news?
Oh, okay, that was it. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's insane. That's insane. Like the world seems to be taking a step backwards, an absolute step backwards. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't understand that. I really don't understand that. But again, people want to feel powerful. People want to feel powerful. And like I know in the US, if that kind of mindset's like it does start to get pushed because again, because of what's going on, there are two prominent kind of males that are dominating the Discord in the US. There are the simps who are willing to do anything, say anything, bow down before any woman just to get the time of day. And then there are the incels, the ones who are literally learning to despise and dislike and hate women because they're absolutely moronic and don't deserve a voice. It's like we're going to appeal, I think it's the 19th Amendment, the women's rights. Like that's what they're going for because it's like insane. And the thing is, imagine a nation that's filled with the incel type and even the simp type community. If you literally have someone there saying like, oh, women have no right, they just are obedient to the husband. And that's basically it. They have no, a bunch of the simps will turn coat and a bunch of the incels will immediately be in line because they hear the chance that they will have that power, that they will be the one in charge. So eventually people will, so that's the thing, it's going to happen in the US as well. It's going to happen in the US. Someone is going to run, going to be incredibly extreme and say something incredibly controversial, but a lot of these young men who have been completely ignored through their life are going to absolutely jump on it. Going to absolutely jump on it. The world is becoming regressive, and the ones in power want to control the world through these brainless people. Yes, that is absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
You guys got a video? don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait, wait,